Says 9:6. Whosoever sheds a man's blood, by man's shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. You know, life is sacred because God made him after his image, which makes us special. He died for us. So when somebody kills, they kill a man that Christ came to die for. And God takes that to heart, and it shouldn't go unpunished. Okay, 1 Samuel 4. 4:12 through 16. 4:12 through 16. A man of Benjamin ran out of the army and came to Shiloh the same day with his clothes torn and with the earth on his head. Now it's important to note this man's from the same tribe as Paul. This is why it's probably noted here, because he's from the same tribe of Paul. He's a Benjaminite. So this man may have took it harder than most people. Some people have been like, well, Paul wasn't following the Lord. But it's still tragic, because his Lord is anointed. We see how David reacts later to it and has a man killed who claims he killed Saul. So we see how he tears his clothes. This is a sign of mourning, a sign of deep distress and grief. So he's distressed. He's running to Shiloh, which is the place at the time where the Ark of the Covenant is carried, where the priests live, where Eli is at. Verse 13. So he's really running to God, the sanctuary, the presence of the Lord. Whether he's intended to do that isn't stated, but that's kind of what he's doing. Verse 13. And when he came to lo, Eli on a seat by the wayside, watching for his heart trembled for the ark of God. And when the man came into the city and told it, all the city cried out. First of all, Saul wasn't following the Lord. So taking the Ark of the Covenant without seeking the Lord's leadership was foolish. The Ark of the Covenant symbolized the Lord. First of all, the Lord wasn't under the leadership of Saul anymore because Saul wasn't following the Lord. So they took the ark out to symbolize the Lord's presence. But the Lord's presence wasn't with Saul because Saul wasn't following the Lord. So Eli shouldn't have allowed the ark to get taken. First off, Eli should have put his sons in line. Second, and if he wasn't, he should have never allowed his sons to carry the ark. But this shows that Eli has some concern for the Lord. He's just putting his family and other things ahead of the Lord. He's got his idols. Verse 14. I don't know. So here's the commotion of this man. Verse 14. And when Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, what does the noise of this tumult mean? And the man came in and told Eli. So this distraction, he knows something's not right. It isn't cheers of victory, it's a crying out in agony and pain and terror. It's kind of one of the things where Eli knew things were bad, but he's asking how bad things truly were. Verse 15. And this is what the man says to him in verse 16, but this is a side note to Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were dim so that he could not see. Now it's traditionally accepted at that time, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter, because Isaac starts losing his sight. He's afraid he's going to die soon. Once the sight goes, that the life soon will follow. So the fact that he's blind, his eyes don't work well, he's expecting to die soon. Being 98 years old, he's lived a pretty full life. So that's the significance of that. That once they started, that's why Isaac, when he started losing his sight, gave out blessings, because afraid he's going to die. The fact is, Isaac didn't die for another like 30 years after that, but it was traditionally accepted. Once you start losing your sight, you're about to lose your life. You're going to soon die, so you make ready. Verse 16. And the man said to Eli, I am he who came out of the army, and I fled today out of the army. And he said, what is done there, my son? You know, this man's saying, I fled. I ran. We were losing. Eli's again asking how bad the loss is. You know, this loss would have never happened if Saul was seeking after the Lord. If the priesthood had been seeking after the Lord. This had to happen. And it was the Lord's plan for this to happen to bring about David as king. And to do away with Eli and his sons as priests. Shaking things up. God had to do this in Israel so they would regain and focus on Him. Sometimes He's got to shake things up for us so we regain our focus on Him.